MotorEx. I thought I'd just come in the trailer. I've been working too hard outside. The boys have been going really well with the merchandise. Product's going really well, lots of inquiries. We know with our product that it works really well on cars, it bolts straight in, and it's obviously a lot better than standard. But we want to see what it looks like with a coat of paint and on some of these show cars. And maybe some of the owners, we can have a chat to them too. Let's go on a product hunt. In this car at Summer for the first time. It's here at MotorEx. It's my favourite car. I'd give him all my cars and swap him for this. If you own this car, I want to buy it. It is unbelievable. I had a look over it though. It does have some Castlemaine products in it. It's got the front end, the wheel woods. Have a look at this. Castlemaine also cater for the import scene, so a Mustang. Obviously got the Boss late model Ford motor in it. You've got to cut the tunnels out of those things. There's not much room under the engine bay. Cut the tunnels out, the shocker tunnels, and got the Castlemaine front end under it. Fits in nice. It's a beautiful car. Let's have a look. I've walked around, we've seen a lot of Castlemaine product, but this one caught my eye. Alex Tirana, it's got 350 Chev in it. It's got a Castlemaine front end, wheel-wood brakes, really nice rig, coat of paint, even comes good up in a show car.
Yeah, good day, my name's Peter Crisp. I built this 1976 Alex Tirana for a friend of mine, Chris Shields. We bought it an old grandma's car, $3,500, and we basically modified it, and this is what we come up with. Everything's full custom on the car, a lot of body fabrication, just a lot of blood, sweat and tears, a lot of hard work. Basically what Chris and I came up with, working as a team. Built completely in my two-bay garage in my backyard. Was taken to where I work just for the final exterior paint on it. Other than that, the entire car built in my backyard. Very, very few people that only left my garage once, which was just for the final paint, which I painted Guidos panel paint in Ingham, far north Queensland. It was an unveiled car at Summer this year, achieved the top 60, and got an invite here as MotorEx as a Meguiar Superstars finalist, and an invite to Red Senate, sorry, in Alice Springs later in the year. So for what is very much a budget build, it's far exceeded our expectations on where it is, what we've achieved with it. We're over the moon. Basically a 350 small block Chev, 500 horsepower, Ingles mechanical fuel injection converted to EFI, TKO 600 Tremac 5-speed, and a 90 differential. Most of the front end, complete tubular front end, all done by Castlemaine rod shop rear end. All the wheel-wood brake upgrades on it, so it should stop and drive really, really well.
We had a chat last year on the stage here, but a lot's been happening in the last 12 months. You've been hooked up with the boys at Castlemaine Rod Shop for 12 months, and someone's got their stereo cranked up. So yeah, tell us a bit about what's been happening.
Yeah, it's been a really good 12 months. As you said, I hooked up with the guys from Castlemaine Rod Shop, really good company. Obviously pretty well known for their front ends and divs and the LS kits, LS the world, but as the guys will testify, the barriers are starting to take over and they've catered for that market too. They started with a barrier kit for a Nissan Patrol, which is selling quite well. And I'll start to filter out barrier kits for all sorts of applications. So
maybe a Ford Falcon kit for no? Okay.
Maybe. Yeah, it's been really exciting. Obviously driving one of their burnout cars, 1HJ, which I've never done before. I'm more of into the drag racing, so it's a different scene, but it's a good change. Look, I'm loving it.
And you get the hang of the skidding. I think I went up to Gazinats in Darwin. Was that the first time you competitively skidded?
Yeah, it was. As I said, different world for me. But it's a really good change. I certainly wouldn't call it work, that's for sure. It's a pleasure to drive and probably a testament to their product. I jumped straight in the car, did a power skid, which is probably one of the hairier things. You're doing speed and it gets quite unstable up the top end. The car did everything I wanted to, and we ended up winning the power skid at my first event, so a testament to their product.
And so have you been, the burnouts have become a bit easier now that you've got about 12 months under your belt?
A bit easier, but in saying that, my last event I hit the wall, so I was nursing the car too much. It's not mine. I don't want to be one of those guys who just put it on the limiter and not care about the car. I was probably nursing it too much, but drove it a bit hard and tipped in and ended up clipping it at the rear quarter. But thankfully, the owner drove the car the next week and smashed that same quarter, so I feel a bit better about that.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, for those that aren't aware, I mean, everyone knows Barry played a little bit of footy in his time, but before that, you're actually a trained mechanic, I think, and you've always been a car guy.
Always been a mechanic. Obviously haven't practiced, but I'm a qualified mechanic. My dad's a mechanic. We had a couple of shops, but I've always been into it. We weren't allowed to race cars because of the risk factor, but I'd always put a car into my father's name, chuck the helmet on, I'd race it myself, so that always worked. But I'm a bit bigger than what my father is, so raised a few eyebrows.
Yeah, but and they're pretty serious combos. What's the quickest car you got in the stable at the moment?
I've got a HJ Ute, it's aspirated, it's got a 632, it does 8.0 at the moment. We're looking to drop those times pretty soon, so we're just waiting for the track to come around in Melbourne. We're going to travel to Sydney and Swan Hill and all those other tracks, and they're pretty good ones, so probably going to have to make the trip at this stage.